Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new. I'm Kirsten, and in today's video we are going to be doing my next palette bingo video. I put up a picture on my Instagram stories the other day and you guys voted for the palette you wanted to be my next palette bingo, and Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde won. So we're going to be using this palette today. So I'm going to come up with 5 shades out of this palette, and I'm going to have to use all of those in the eye look. We're going to go 1 through 6, 7, through so on and so on. So yeah, we're going to use the random number generator on Google and then just generate. So the first one is 10. So that is the shade called Crash here in the center. And I'm just gonna swatch them as we go along. Next up is shade number 1, which is actually one of my favorite shades. It is Cosmic here in the corner. It's kind of a light shade, but it's a really pretty topper shade. So I'll try and build it up for the swatch so that you can kind of see, but it is really pretty. Next we have number 9, which is going to be the shade Libra, and that is this light purple shade here. I really want to get number 4 because Nebula is my favorite shade in the palette. So here's that Libra shade here. Next up is number 10, which we already got. That was the shade Crash. So I'm just going to draw for another one. Next up is 17, and that's going to be Gold Glitch here. All right, so we've got the first 4, so the last color is going to be, we already got number 1, so we already got number 10, number 8. All right, and the last shade is going to be this one, Galaxy, which is another one of my most used shades in this palette. All right, so it's going to be a pretty light look apparently. Yeah, I might add another one if this isn't enough, but I think I'd rather just keep it to the 5 that we drew today. All right, so for starters, I'm just gonna use this Nars Tinted Smudge Proof Primer or eyeshadow base. And I use this primer to prime my eyelids pretty much every single day, especially if I start with the eyes. Every now and then if I start with my face, I will just use a concealer. But this palette sometimes does give me fallout. I don't think any of the shades that were chosen today will, but I wasn't sure which ones we'd be using. So I did want to go ahead and do the eye makeup first. All right, for starters, I'm going to use this fluffy blending brush from Sonia Kashuk, and I'm going to go in with the shade Libra, which was that really light lavender color. I'm going to put this on the inner part of my crease. I was excited to do the palette bingo with this palette because it could go a lot of different ways. Like there's blues in this palette, there's purples, there's a lot of golds, and then there's just a lot of obviously pink tones. So it could have gone a lot of ways, and I honestly was really hoping for that shade number 4, Nebula. When I finish that shade, I'm gonna be really sad. And I know that part of me is gonna want to repurchase this palette because I just want that shade, but that would be kind of silly. But I have it pan in it. Okay, I kind of have the shade where I want it, so I'm going to go ahead and take the same brush and go into Crash here, the one right next to it. This one looks pretty tan, but it really does come off pretty purple on my eyelids usually, especially since I'm going to use the same brush. But it's not as neutral on the eyes as it looks. I know that's a complaint of a lot of people, and I felt that way at first, but I really love pink and purple tones on the eyes, so it's not a big deal to me, but this palette really does lean very pink no matter what shade you get. There's not a ton of diversity as far as the matte shades go. All right, I'm gonna go back in again with the shade Libra, the first one that we use. I'm just using the same brush, and I'm just gonna kind of build that up again. All right, because I am pretty experienced and used to this palette, I've had it for, well, since December of 2019. I have used it a lot, and so I am familiar with the shimmer shades here that we picked, and they're not super pigmented on their own. The Gold Glitch one is the most pigmented out of the 3, but I am going to go ahead and use my Nyx Glitter Glue just because I want them to be as vibrant as possible. So when I use this, I usually just take about this much on one of my fingers, and then I kind of split it between 2, and that's really all you need for your whole lid, and even you can get away with slightly less than that. But I am going to spread this across my entire lid and then start kind of patting it in to make it get a little bit more tacky. And then I actually do have a little bit too much. I'm going to move on to the next finger that doesn't have any product on there and really just pat it out and kind of go between the two. I find that this works the best, but I'm not bringing it up into the crease. This glitter glue just makes any metallic or glittery or shimmery shadow just look so much more reflective. And I think especially for this kind of lighter look, it will be really nice to kind of add a little bit more glitter. For her glitter and shimmer shades in this palette, I do prefer to just use my finger. So for starters, I'm going to go in with Gold Glitch on my ring finger here. And I'm going to put this on the outer half of my lids. I'm just going to kind of stamp it on. This one does have a little bit of fallout, but the glitter glue usually does help with that. Next up, I'm going to go in with my middle finger into the shade Galaxy here. And I'm going to put this on the inner part of the lid and just kind of blend the two together. They look kind of similar, but this one's slightly more pink on the inner part. I'm going to go back in with the only brush that we have used so far, and I'm going to go back into Libra, which again was that kind of light lavender shade. And I'm just going to run this above where I just put the shimmer shades, just in case I got any glitter up there. I just want to kind of knock it off. And then I'm going to go back into Crash here and do the same thing on the outer portion of the crease. All right, I did actually get a little bit of fallout underneath the eyes. I'm just going to use a makeup wipe and wipe that away. This is actually really the only thing I use makeup wipes for, is cleaning up fallout or kind of cleaning up the edge of my eyeshadow, which I'm not going to do that today. Sometimes I'll drag the wipe and kind of make a sharp line, but I think this look doesn't really need it, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and do my face makeup, and then I'll be back to finish up the lower lash line, and that'll be it. It's kind of a simple look, but yeah, I'll be right back. All right, I'm done with my face makeup. I just wanted to show you really quickly the products that I used. So for my primer, I used the Touch in Sol Pretty Filter Icy Sherbet Primer. This actually won in a giveaway from Instagram. And it is a like really nice whipped consistency, but it smells like a hair product, and I shouldn't have done that, but I can't really like, you know, smell the packaging, but for some reason whenever you like actually get the product out and start to put on your face, you can't really smell it. So I just want to mention that it does smell super strong. And that giveaway was from Skincare Hype on Instagram, so I will link her page down below. I've mentioned her before from that like pink cut crease look that I really liked. Her name's Katie and she has awesome looks. So I will link her Instagram page below. But for foundation, I mixed together my ColourPop Pretty Fresh and my Misha BB cream. I have this in the number 13 and this in Fair 20N. I used my Flower Beauty Light Illusion Concealer. I have this in the shade Fair, as well as my number 7 pressed powder that I have hit huge pan on, and I have this in the shade Light. For my cheek products, I did use a couple cream products. I used my Fenty Cream Bronzer in 02 Butter Biscuit and my Flower Beauty Blush Balm in Bubbly, which just so happens to like perfectly match my nails. I did top that blush with my Etude House Lovely Cookie Blusher. This is in Ginger Honey Cookie. And for highlight, I used the Balm Mary Luminizer highlight. I've been thinking about this one if it's a little bit too dark or not, but I don't think it is. I think it just looks a little bit darker in the pan than it really is. For my brows, I use the exact same combo that I use pretty much every single day. That is the Milani Weekend Brow and then the Essence Clear Brow Gel. And for setting spray, I went ahead and used my ColourPop Pretty Fresh. I wanted to use it before I used mascara. But let's go ahead and finish up the eye look. I'm again going to use that exact same Sonia Kashuk brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Crash, which was this one here. And I'm just going to tap off my brush because I do already have my face makeup on. I'm going to pinch it and then put that on the lower lash line. And then because I didn't draw a shade that was really light, I'm not going to use the one Momentum in here. I'm just going to use my face powder, and I'm going to use the same eyeshadow brush and just pick some of that up again on the exact same brush. And I'm just going to kind of blend out the top part up here. And in my opinion, by using the same brush, it still has some of that pigment in there. So it's not going to be like, you know, I'm just putting on a my skin color shade. but it's actually kind of mixing in with the other shades just to kind of help it to not be so harsh up here. And I just like that a little bit better. And then last up, I'm going to use this brush. This is the second brush of the whole look. It is the Spectrum XKJH number 21 brush. And that's when I'm going to pick up the last shade that I needed to use, which was Cosmic. And I'm just going to use this on my inner corner. These brushes from Spectrum and Katie Jane Hughes are actually going to relaunch soon. They're going to restock them so you can get your hands on them, as well as they're launching an 11-piece set. The only complaint that I have with this brush set is that one of the brushes, let me see, it's this one here, number 22, is frayed. And I have tried to wash it and put the plastic piece back on it to reshape it, but I've never been able to actually really use this brush because it doesn't keep its form, which is interesting to me because this one, now my brushes are dirty, I haven't cleaned them, but this one, number 24, is a lot longer, but it still holds its shape much better than this one does, which just doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But yeah, other than that, I do really love this brush collection. But yeah, that is a bummer that I can't get that one to work out. But I just wanted to let you guys know that that's restocking. So check out that video that I posted of that review if you want to see more about all of the brushes in depth. But yeah, they should be up pretty soon for sale again. I'm also going to bring this Cosmic shade slightly underneath my lower lash line, just on like the inner fourth of it or so. Actually, I'm going to wet my brush for this, so I'm just going to pick up a bunch of the shade on the brush and then use that ColourPop Pretty Fresh Mist just to hopefully help it show up a little bit more. Like I said earlier, the shade's kind of light and it's sometimes hard to see, but sometimes just wetting the brush can help with that. Okay, I like that a lot. So this was a super simple look, but I did use all of the 5 shades that we pulled earlier. I'm just going to go ahead and put some mascara on and choose a lip color, and then I will be back. All right, I went ahead and did my mascara. I used my NYX On The Rise Lipscara, and then for lips, I went ahead and used the NYX Nude Suede Shoes lip liner, as well as my beloved Almay lipstick in Worry Less. You guys, this is almost completely gone. I am so sad. But I did place an order on NYX earlier today, and I got a color that I think might be my replacement for this, and if it works out, I am going to be so happy. I also bought a shade from them in the same formula that I think might be a dupe for the Huda Beauty Empress, the new lipstick in the cream formula. Emily from Emily's Makeup Bag has been wearing one of the KKW Beauty lip liners, the one in Nude 1, with that Empress lipstick, and I freaking love how it looks on her, but I usually don't wear like those brown tone nudes, so I didn't want to commit to like the $20 price tag. I got these lipsticks on sale for under $4 each, so I will be coming back and letting you guys know how that goes, but I did use this one today. And then I actually think I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of that Cosmic shade that we used in the inner corner and just put a little bit on the brow bone as well. I'm really liking this color story, how it's all really soft and neutral, but I just think this might add a little something. And I don't even know if you guys will be able to see it on camera, but in person, just adds a little something. And I like it. So that's that. I did not expect this look to go this way, honestly, because I guess in my head when I thought about a palette bingo with this, like I knew I was just gonna draw number 4, which is my favorite shade in the palette. But yeah, this is how the look came out. I'm actually super, super happy with it. I think that it's really nice and just really light and like ethereal looking. But if you wanted to see, I will go ahead and show you. This shade here called Nebula is my favorite shade of this palette. It is stunning. It is so nice. So you can just kind of like pack it on, but it is just really, really nice. Like it has so many different glitter flecks in it and all over the eye. It's just really pretty. And like I said, for some reason in my head when I was doing this palette bingo, that's the color that I was gonna choose. I can't pick what color comes up on the random generator, but yeah, this is how it looks. So I'm glad that you guys chose this palette. I honestly was really hoping that you would choose this one because it's the one I wanted to use as well. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this palette bingo video. I have a couple really exciting videos coming up. One of them is that lipstick one I kind of teased at a little bit, but the other one, I'm gonna leave a surprise. But let's just say I am so excited for it. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you guys don't want to miss out on that, because I promise you don't want to miss out on that. I am so excited for it. So I hope that it will live up to the hype and that you guys will like it as much as I think that I'm going to. I haven't filmed it yet, but when I get done with this, I'm going to film the intro for it. But yeah, I'm super stoked about that, and I hope that you guys will be too. If you enjoyed today's video, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. But with that being said, you guys, that's it for me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.